I once believed happiness could be bought. If I just found the right things, the perfect items, my life would finally feel complete and fulfilled. I convinced myself that every new purchase would fill a gap, that each object would add something meaningful to my life. My home filled up quickly. A new sofa, the latest kitchen gadgets, shelves lined with things I thought I needed. My closet was bursting with clothes, many of which I barely wore, yet I kept adding more. Each purchase brought a brief thrill, a spark of excitement that made me feel alive for a moment. But that excitement faded fast, leaving me searching for the next thing to buy, hoping it would finally make me happy. I'd scroll endlessly through online shops, wander store aisles, always chasing the next promise of happiness. Instead, I felt emptier and more stressed, weighed down by the sheer volume of stuff around me. My home, meant to be a sanctuary, became chaotic and heavy. Every surface was covered. Magazines, trinkets, clothes I never wore, and things I barely remembered buying. Instead of joy, my possessions brought anxiety and endless chores. There was always something to clean, organize, or put away. My energy went into managing stuff, not living. I was always tidying, never truly relaxing. Creativity suffered. My camera gear was buried, my desk unusable, my passions pushed aside by piles of clutter. The clutter in my home became clutter in my mind, making it hard to focus or feel inspired. I'd look around and see only chores and obstacles, never the peace I craved. The joy in my creative pursuits vanished, replaced by a sense of being stuck and overwhelmed. The turning point came when I spent an hour searching for a book, lost in piles of clutter, realizing how much time I was wasting. Frustration and exhaustion hit me. Why was I living like this, surrounded by things that brought me no real happiness? My pursuit of more had left me with less peace, less time, less joy, and a growing sense of defeat. In that moment, I knew something had to change. I was finally ready to reclaim my space and my life. My search for a better way to live, for a sense of peace and clarity, led me to Fumio Sasaki's Goodbye Things. This book promised more than just decluttering tips. It offered a new perspective on life itself. Sasaki's story felt so familiar. Like me, he was overwhelmed by a life filled with possessions and constant stress, always chasing after the next thing, never feeling truly satisfied. He once believed his self-worth was tied to what he owned, until he made the brave decision to let go of the excess and question what really mattered. Sasaki's approach to minimalism wasn't about living in empty rooms or following strict, joyless rules. Instead, it was a profound mindset shift, understanding why we crave things and learning to find happiness and fulfillment beyond the endless cycle of consumerism. He taught that our possessions often end up owning us, quietly costing us our time, money, and precious energy, while distracting us from what's truly important. The real goal isn't minimalism for its own sake, but to create a richer, more focused, and meaningful life. By letting go of the non-essential, you open up space, both physically and mentally, for what truly matters: relationships, passions, creativity, and personal growth. It's about curating your life with intention, choosing what to keep and what to release, not just tidying up for appearances. Inspired by Sasaki, I realized this would be a journey of self-discovery, not just a weekend project or a quick fix. I knew I'd have to confront my habits, my attachments, and the emotions tied to my belongings. It was scary to imagine letting go, but for the first time, I felt a sense of hope and possibility. I started to believe that Japanese minimalism could truly free me from the invisible weight of my possessions and the expectations I'd carried for years. I was finally ready to build a life filled with purpose, joy, and the freedom to focus on what matters most. The first rule that changed me was simple. Things bring things. Buy a phone and soon you need a case, charger, accessories. Every new item starts a chain reaction of more consumption. I saw it in my own life, like when a single espresso machine led to cups, grinders, beans, and endless maintenance. The joy of new things quickly turned into the burden of managing them. I began to pause before buying, asking, what else will this require? How much time, space, and energy will it take? The true cost of an item was always more than its price. I became more selective, realizing every new thing was a commitment. Fewer items meant fewer hidden responsibilities. My life felt lighter, more manageable. This rule became the foundation of my minimalist journey. The second rule was choosing gratitude over the endless pursuit of more. Instead of constantly seeking the next new thing, I learned to pause and reflect on what I already had. I used to focus on what I lacked, scrolling social media and feeling envious of other people's lives, their homes, and their possessions. Shopping became a way to fill the void, a quick fix for the emptiness I felt inside. Each purchase brought a fleeting sense of excitement, but it never lasted. Minimalism taught me to appreciate what I already had, to see the beauty in the ordinary things that surrounded me every day. Each morning, I'd thank my bed for a restful night, my favorite mug for holding my morning tea. Small things, but it shifted my mindset in a profound way. I started my days feeling abundant, not deprived. This simple practice helped me realize how much I already had to be grateful for. Gratitude made me care for my things, extending their life and reducing the urge to upgrade. I found joy in maintaining and repairing rather than replacing. The cycle of consumption slowed, and I felt a sense of peace I hadn't known before. Gratitude isn't about suppressing desire, but about finding lasting joy in what's already present and realizing that enough is truly enough. Whenever I felt the urge to shop, I'd walk around my home and notice what I loved, reminding myself of the stories and memories behind each item. The desire for more faded, replaced by contentment and a deeper appreciation for the present moment. Gratitude became my antidote to consumerism, a daily practice that brought me calm and clarity. It was a simple, powerful shift, one that changed not just my home, but my entire outlook on life. The third rule was taking care of things one day at a time. After decluttering, I worried clutter would creep back. Japanese minimalism offered a gentle solution, small daily habits. The one in, one out rule kept my possessions in check. If I bought something new, I let go of something old. Every item had a home. At day's end, I'd put everything back in its place. 5 minutes of tidying kept my space peaceful and manageable. Maintenance became easy. If a button came loose, I fixed it right away. Small tasks didn't pile up into big projects. This approach respected my things and my future self. My home stayed tidy, my mind stayed clear. Living this way felt effortless, not overwhelming. Consistency was key. It was a mindful, sustainable way to live. The fourth rule was realizing my identity isn't defined by my possessions. For years, I used things to project an image, books to seem smart, clothes to seem stylish. Letting go of these identity props was liberating. I found confidence in who I was, not what I owned. My self-worth came from my actions and relationships, not external validation. With less energy spent on image, I rediscovered my true interests. I picked up my camera again, not to impress, but for the joy of creating. My creativity became authentic and personal. Relationships deepened. I connected with people, not their status. I realized those who matter love me for who I am, not what I have. Letting go of possessions meant letting go of the need for approval. My identity became something I lived, not something I bought. The fifth rule was designing my space for natural flow and presence. Japanese aesthetics value intentional empty space. Before, every corner was filled, making my home feel stagnant. I started creating empty spaces on shelves, walls, floors. The effect was immediate. My mind felt calmer, my eyes could rest. I arranged furniture for easy movement and openness. My living room became inviting, not cluttered. My workspace was stripped to essentials: laptop, notebook, pen. Distractions vanished, creativity flourished. My environment supported focus and relaxation. Designing for flow made my home a sanctuary. It encouraged the activities I loved: reading, yoga, creativity. My space finally nurtured my well-being. Many think minimalism means deprivation, but it's the opposite. It's not about losing, but gaining. Time, freedom, clarity. You own only what matters, what sparks joy. With less, I discovered my true values: experiences over things, relationships over status. Decision-making became simpler. I knew what to say yes to. Minimalism became my compass for intentional living. The joy of less is steady and deep, not fleeting. It's waking up in a calm space, free from the pressure to own more. Happiness no longer depends on possessions. I have more time and energy for passions and people I love. Minimalism is a tool to focus on what's essential. For me, that means more creativity, deeper relationships, and peace. It's about discovering the joy of having just enough. If my story resonates, I invite you to explore Japanese minimalism for yourself. You don't need to get rid of everything overnight. Start with one small area, a drawer, a shelf. Hold each item and ask, does this spark joy? Let go of what no longer serves you with gratitude. Remember the 5 rules. Things bring things. Practice gratitude. Care daily. Find your true self, and design for flow. These are gentle signposts, not strict rules. Your journey will be unique, a path of self-discovery. Create space in your home, mind, and heart for what matters. Live more lightly, more freely, more joyfully. Take a deep breath and look around. What's one small thing you can let go of today? The journey begins with a single step.